Do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay. And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay. Why so?
Harris is a loser and a lush. Got an alcohol problem.
There's no evidence of that at all. And if you're going to talk about, there's no evidence of her having a quote unquote alcohol problem. And then also, you said that she's a quote unquote loser. What makes you think that she's a loser?
She never accomplished anything in her life. She's just a DEI, rode the DEI gravy train to.
Can you name one thing that JD Vance has done as vice president?
I don't even know who the hell he is, really.
You don't know the vice president's name? You
I
don't know
know
who
who he
JD
is. I
Vance
know
is, the
nothing
vice
about
president?
this.
So I think the
I
only
know
one
who.
who clearly doesn't know what's going on is you. Kamala Harris had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president ever, including the Inflation Reduction Act, the largest investment in renewable energy ever, and it had the $35 cap on insulin for those that are on Medicare.
Well, she had the most tie-breaking votes because it was close. The Senate was split
That just means that
very
she was super
closely.
influential.
She wasn't influential. She hasn't done
She was
anything. She's
very
an idiot.
influential. No, what makes you wait? Okay, wait. Do you think that Donald Trump's an idiot?
No, he's a very bright man.
So Donald Trump, who said that the windmills are causing whales numbers never seen before, right? The guy who said that the climate is going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet, which denies the scientific consensus, right? There was no scientific evidence for either of those claims, right? That's a ridiculous point. We can
Well,
also
what
point
caused
to
the
the
midi-
fact that he said that if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won.
Well, that's true.
You can think that guy's smart? Are you serious?
He's accomplished so many things in life. He was a
Like what?
television star. He was president twice. He was a successful business person.
With six bankrupt, can you name one successful business person with six bankruptcies other than Trump?
well, a lot of people go bankrupt. There's no, if you don't risk anything,
I mean, he
that's
inherited $400 million from his dad. So, I mean, what do
I
you
don't
think
know
he was
about
really
that figure.
risking? Yeah, 400 million
Well,
accounting for inflation.
I mean, he comes from a good family. What can I say?
Well, is that really like self-made and he's bright for doing it, or is he just inherited it?
Well, he was elected president twice. That's something.
Being elected president twice doesn't mean that you're like qualified, because clearly Donald Trump is not qualified.
Well, today he just settled the Israel-Palestinian war. He settled the Armenian war. He's done so
Actually,
much,
I mean,
accomplished so much.
foreign leaders were actually laughing at Donald Trump and saying that like he didn't get any deal done, and he was just like obviously trying to brag about something that he didn't actually get. Did you actually see that video? There was a video that just came out. And what do you mean today? Where'd you get this information? Where'd you see this?
I saw it all on
Fox News?
Twitter and TikTok.
Oh, Twitter, TikTok. Okay. What from like Trump MAGA accounts?
No, I understand that he put forward the proposal, and now has partially agreed to it
Wait. What did they agree to?
to release the hostages.
Can you give me a source?
Well, it's coming up. It's all happening right now, but
So it hasn't happened yet.
it's happening even as we speak, as I understand it. They have
Really?
72
Has it
hours
been reported on?
they have 72 hours now to release the hostages.
Okay. And do you think that's because of Trump?
Yeah, he was the one who put forward the plan. He was brought the
I
parties
actually.
together.
Okay, wait. No, that doesn't mean that he's the one who specifically did it. It said that they would want to negotiate elements of the Trump plan.
He's bringing the people together. He got the Qataris, he got the Saudis, even
Wait,
the
I mean,
Turks.
you understand that he's specifically been the one saying that Israel can take whatever they want, can establish a one-state solution if they want, and he's gone back and forth on all of these different positions. He hasn't established anything legitimate. There were already talks in terms of a ceasefire that existed under the Biden-Harris administration, and Trump harmed them literally when he got in office. So you're just going to credit him regardless what happens, right?
He,
Regardless what happens.
The Saudis, the Qataris, the Turks, they all signed up to his plan. Everybody, and he put the ultimatum to if you don't agree to it, it's going to, I'm going to let Israel do whatever they want. So they had to come to the table.
Saying you're going to let Israel do whatever they want is not a good thing, by the way. And also that they're going to negotiate. So this is just them saying that they're going to negotiate, not that they specifically have agreed upon all of the conditions on Trump's plan.
He's moving it forward. It's very, very difficult. It's been hundreds of years of controversy, so it takes a long time, thousands of years.
So okay, well you can try and sit there and say that it's Donald Trump, but again, I don't see any good reason to apply that to Donald Trump. One and two, as it relates to this, this doesn't mean he's accomplished, right? He's the one who's caused significantly greater conditions of conflict around the world and less confidence in our world leaders, right?
Less confidence.
Yes, I can give you
Macron,
examples. Macron was
Starmer,
laughing
they're
at Trump.
losers. What?
They were laughing at Trump.
They're laughing at Trump, Starmer, Macron, a bunch of losers, okay? The
Okay, so
worst
so you, do
leaders
you, so okay,
ever.
so here's what it is. Trump, amazing, good king, and then everyone else that Trump doesn't like is loser. Okay, is that essentially what your argument is?
Starmer and Macron are losers. The
So it's
Italian
just
one,
anyone
she's
that
good.
Trump doesn't like is a
Coney.
loser. Is that your perspective?
No, Starmer, well, look what he's doing to Britain. He has like a 3% popularity rating there. He's
No, I'm
the
just saying.
most
I'm just
hated
saying in.
prime
I'm
minister.
just saying it. Listen, I'm just saying in general. Are you just saying anyone specifically that is against Donald Trump that you just disagree with and you dislike,
Of
and you
course not.
immediately be just because of that? Okay, so
Of
no, not
course
just
not.
because of that. Okay, so then you have
No.
to. So then give reasons relating to the politics that we're talking about in terms of Kamala Harris. Why do you think that you said that she's a quote unquote idiot? Give me any reason to believe that because I give you plenty of examples to show that Donald Trump is an absolute idiot.
All right. Her word salad, she doesn't even
No.
make any sense.
So
Okay?
okay, can you give me a single clip of her not making any sense? Because I'll give you many clips of Donald Trump not making any sense. Literally, find me a single clip of Kamala Harris not making sense. I'll give you time. I'll thank people.
I don't have the ability to do
Yes, you
that. I'm
do.
sorry.
What do you mean you don't have the ability to do that?
I mean, I don't have the ability to show you clips. I'm sure you can
No,
Google
no, you can
word
just tell me the
salad.
title. Just look up title. Look up the title specifically in
Look it
terms
up
of Kamala
where?
Harris not making sense.
Okay, I've heard her, so I don't have the ability to do that.
Okay. So you can just look it up right now, right? I'm giving you time to do that.
I mean, I heard her. I heard the campaign. I heard her
What did she
debate.
say
I
that
heard
didn't
her
make sense?
cackle. I heard her cackle.
What did she
Nothing.
say that didn't make sense?
She wants government. She wants government to run supermarkets. That did not make any
She
sense. She
didn't
wants
say
price
that.
control.
She
She
didn't say
wants
that,
price
by the way. She didn't
control.
say she wanted government to run supermarkets. That's not what she said.
She wanted price
You're
control.
literally mistaking Zohran Mamdani's policy with Kamala Harris.
They're the same. They're cutting. They're democratic
They actually
socialists. They're
don't
the
they definitely
same.
don't have the same perspectives. I can promise you that.
They're democratic socialists. They're leftists. They're
Okay,
far, far,
can you
far
tell me what a
left.
socialist is? And Kamala Harris is not a democratic socialist.
She had the most liberal voting record of anyone in the Senate. True or not?
I don't think that would be considered true today, especially if we look at the overall, and especially what she ran on in 2024.
She's a
And like, what do
democratic
you mean by the
socialist.
most liberal? What does that even mean?
The far left, leftist.
No,
You don't know what a leftist is. Pro
I do.
pally,
I do. I don't think you do.
socialism,
Can
open
you define?
borders.
Can you define socialism?
Socialism means spending everybody else's money.
That's not what socialism is. Socialism is when the workers democratically control the means of production. By the way, that's not specifically what's being
That's
advocated for,
communism.
especially by no. Communism is a stateless, classless, money-less society, right? In which which there's public ownership of the means of production, right? And there's a distinction between means of production and like personal property, by the way, as well. And then again, I'm a social democrat, so I'm a liberal, right? And Kamala Harris is clearly a liberal. She's not a socialist. The idea that you think that she's a socialist is obviously ridiculous.
Did she want to put price caps on supermarkets?
So when you say price caps, like you're saying that the price controls that already exist in 46 states across the whole United States, she just wanted
There's
to
no
extend
price
federally.
controls.
Yeah, the price controls that she was advocating for are things that exist in every single state up to, or not every single state, in 46 of the 50 states. I meant.
There's no price controls in any of the states. That's incorrect.
Wait,
You think
this is
think
in
the
the context
government
of like
tells
natural disasters. It's price gouging policy for
there's
stupid
price
people.
gouging in a natural disaster, but when there's no natural disasters, supermarkets charge whatever they want.
No, so this is something
She
again that
wanted to
already exists.
control inflation by setting prices on supermarkets.
So no, that's not the policy that she advocated for. And also, again, if you want to talk about government involvement, how do you feel about Donald Trump saying that he wants to take 10% of Intel?
He's helping Intel. Intel was about to go bankrupt if they aren't already. They're the worst
Wait, so
run
then
company on the
so then
planet.
you like socialism, right? Because you want the government to own a part of the means of production.
If we're investing in him, then we need to get a return. We're just not giving away
Okay,
money.
so that's socialism, bro.
That's not socialism. No, it's a private
you're
company.
engaging in socialism. You are supporting socialism.
I'm not.
You just
I'm
literally just
investing. We're
based upon your
investing.
own definition, it was socialism.
No, it's not. There's no
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
We're not
Wait,
owning the
I'm just
means of
using your
production.
definition. If this isn't the definition of socialism that you're using, maybe then you need to revise your definition of socialism.
No, you can invest and you get a return and you own shares. That's
Yeah,
not
so the government
socialism.
though, the government. So you want the
Yeah.
government to be involved. What happened to the
When
free
they bail
market?
out,
Wait, what happened to the free market? Don't you just want
it's
to leave
not
it
a
up to the free
perfect.
market? Why are you being a
Well,
socialist? Why do you want the
no,
government to be involved in free market affairs?
there's bailouts. There's an auto industry bailout. There's bailouts. We
Oh,
get
and
shares and
so
then
then
they.
you support corporate socialism.
I if it's necessary, like Intel, then and we bail them out. We're
If
not going to
corporate
give them to you for
socialism is
free.
necessary, he supports it. Okay.
Well, look, that they're about to go out of business. They're the worst run company. They're a bunch of. I can't. They should really be in jail as how
Do you
badly
even
they ran that
who
company.
should be in
It used to
jail?
be the greatest company.
Who should be in jail?
The people who ran Intel into the ground.
So because they did bad in business, they should be in jail?
It's not that they're bad in business; they're corrupt.
Okay, cool. What can you tell me what they did that was corrupt?
I don't have the facts in front of me as far as Intel is concerned. I honestly don't. Except that they had a beautiful business. They were the leading chip manufacturer. Now
Can I ask you this
they're
question then?
and also
Can you tell
ran
me could you tell me something that you could identify as corrupt? Like how do you identify someone as corrupt?
corrupt. Corrupt.
Yeah, how do you identify
Corruption.
that someone is corrupt? Yeah, or engaging in corruption.
Well, when they put their own interests in front of their duty to whatever their lawful duties are, when they put their own interests ahead of their lawful obligations, that's corruption.
Okay, so like and what would be an example of that?
Of corruption.
Yeah.
Well, when you pocket money that's supposed to go to the company or the shareholders or the people to yourself, or you give yourself huge
So like
bonuses or
if you
this.
rug pull a meme coin,
Say that again.
so if you rug pull a meme coin,
I don't know what that means.
so if you like drop a meme coin, let's say like Biden dropped Biden coin, like a cryptocurrency, like a meme coin, and then after like it went up a lot, he rug pulled it so he could make some money off of it. Would that be corruption?
Did Hunter do that?
No, I'm asking if Joe Biden did this. Would
I'm
you
not
say
really sure. I'm not. Biden was what has dementia. He's been out
no?
of it.
No,
You've
he
been
doesn't.
lying
There's no
about
evidence
Biden
of
for
that. Now, can
years.
you address what I just said? You just or
I'm
instead of
saying
just
he
making
doesn't
up
know
lies
what
for one
world he's
second.
on, Biden. He doesn't know
I
where
don't
he
think
is,
you
and he
know what
didn't for
argument you're engaging.
4 years.
You don't even know what argument you're engaging with. What are you talking about? That's ironic for you to say that. Engage with the argument that I've
Biden
just
was
showed
out
you.
of it. Is Biden have
You're
any
out of it. You're
cognitive
out of it right
decline?
now. Engage with the argument. You're out of it right now.
I'm
Get your
asking you,
head in the game.
did Biden have
Get your
cognitive
head in the
decline?
game.
Yes or no?
Get your head in the game.
Answer my question.
Are you going to talk to me? Like, or are we just going to like randomly talk about new things every single time you don't have an answer?
I don't know your question. I don't
Okay,
understand
go
that
for
big
it, man.
point.
We'll address whatever you want to talk about.
Biden was out of it. Is he in cognitive decline?
Yeah, and so is Trump.
Okay, don't switch the topic. Let's talk about Biden. Did everybody lie about all the Democrats lie about Biden's decline for years?
I don't think people lied, but I don't think that it was just addressed to the degree that it should have been. But sure,
People said,
there were some Democrats that lied. Sure.
all right, so there you have it. And was he incompetent to be president for the last 2 years? of his term?
I think
Cognitively?
he's a better president than Trump.
That's not answering my question. Was he cognitively ineffective in the last 2 years of his
Well,
term?
neither Trump or Biden are to the degree that I would want from them, but I would prefer Biden over Trump.
I mean, Trump.
I think Trump is less cognitively there because it is the case that he believes in rampant conspiracy bull that RFK tells him. Okay? Like genuinely, he literally just went in front of the entirety of the public and he said that there are no downsides for people who are pregnant when they have fevers not taking Tylenol, which is extremely ridiculous. Untreated fever is harmful towards the person's health and towards the pregnancy's health, right? And it
I
is the
thought.
case that if they take other types of medicines other than Tylenol, that is likely to be more negatively impactful towards their health. Tylenol is one of the most effective things for someone to take during the context of pregnancy. And the study that he was misinterpreting literally shows that there's no association between Tylenol usage in pregnancy and autism when taking into account genetic factors and siblings.
Does Tylenol Company recommend their product for pregnant women?
Yes.
No, they don't. They say they don't recommend their product for
That
pregnant
no, that
women.
was they said that that's not company policy, and that was a misinterpretation of something that was literally posted in like 2017. That's what they said
So they
themselves.
posted it. But they posted it. It was posted themselves.
Yeah, like in 2017 they said it was not showing of and demonstrating of what the company wide statement was, and that their knowledge on this has progressed over time.
And what has happened since 2017 that's changed their mind? They are recommending it for pregnant
There
people?
was a Swedish study that indicated with 2.5 million children that they looked over that indicated no association between Tylenol usage in pregnancy and autism, right? When taking into account against siblings and genetics. So studies, evidence, data.
Well, do you agree or disagree with the proposition that pregnant women should only take necessary medications
I think
during
people should talk to their
pregnancy?
doctors and shouldn't listen to Davey on the internet because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about and he doesn't have a medical degree. And they should talk to their doctor because their doctor probably knows significantly more in terms of what would be effective in terms of their health relating to the certain conditions and their life rather than Davey on the internet with absolutely no understanding of science and who
And you
supports
don't
a guy that literally denies science.
and you don't think that doctors have ever made the massive health mistakes that harmed a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
people?
Who do
What
you think
about
is
the
going to be better at determining what's going to be medically health? Wait, I'm sorry. Who do you think is going to be better at determining that something's going to be medically healthy? Davey, the Trump supporter on my TikTok live, or literally the consensus of medical health professionals?
the people who gave lobotomies, the people who gave
Hold up.
those
Does this
birth,
guy
those
does?
morning
Wait.
after pills?
You think you know more than the medical consensus? You think you know more than the studies?
I know from my own research more than most people do. Yeah,
Really, really.
yeah, yeah.
You know more than
I'm going to make
most
my
doctors.
own
Do you
health.
think you know? Hold up. Do you think you know more than most doctors about medical health?
Yeah,
Yeah, you think you
most of
do?
them are.
Really?
Yeah, most of them are. Most of them
Wow.
are
Look at this
bought and
guy.
paid.
This guy thinks he knows more about science than medical health professionals. Okay. Can you tell me what RN stands for?
Registered nurse.
Oh, I'm actually surprised you knew that. Okay.
Can you
We're
tell
going
me
to
what stat stands for? You want something stat?
hold up. Hold up. You could that's like
Bring me
right
something
now.
stat. What does that mean?
That means like right now.
And what does it mean? What's the term? Why stat? What does
I don't
that
know why
mean?
you asked me that question. I'm not claiming I know more than medical health professionals. You want me to
Oh
keep
no,
asking
but
you
you had the
questions?
registered nurse because they say to the RN, get me this stat, and you don't know what stat means.
Can you tell me what saline is made of?
Salt and water.
Okay. Um uh okay. Well, can I ask you another question? Do you think vaccines are
Was
safe and
I right?
effective? Do you think
What is?
vaccines are safe and effective?
For the most part, the traditional ones, yes. The ones that we've had experience
Do you
with,
think the
yes.
COVID
The
vaccine
ones
is safe and effective?
I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, well, there's the bibliography in my bio, a sources page that has over 30 plus pages of peer reviewed studies and systematic reviews that indicate the effectiveness of vaccines.
And
So I'm
most of
surprised you
those
don't.
peer
Can you tell
review.
me, how about this? Could you tell me what VAERS stands for?
I'm
Since
sorry.
you're like, since you know more than the typical medical professional, what does VAERS stand for?
I didn't quite understand with
What
the
does
word you're
VAERS
using.
stand for?
VERS.
VAERS.
VAERS. I'm not familiar with that term.
Okay, yeah. Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System.
Okay, I know that people. Yeah.
Okay. So you know more than most medical professionals, yet you don't even know what VAERS stands for?
Most of the articles, the peer review articles, when they look forward to them, a lot of them are fraud. Most of the doctors are bought and paid for
Most
by big
peer-reviewed
farm.
studies are fraud. Most doctors are bought and paid for. That you have no
Yeah.
evidence of this, by the way. You have no
No,
evidence. You're just claiming.
they just did a study and they went through these peer reviewed articles to show
Wait,
how.
so are you saying you accept that? So you're saying you accept the conclusions of a study, right?
I don't accept the conclusions of a
So
study.
then
No,
you
I
don't
never
accept
said
the
that.
conclusions of that study that references the effectiveness of studies, right? So would you
You
like
mean the
to
Swedish?
wait? So do you accept studies or not? If you don't accept studies, well, then I can ask you
I'm
multiple
very
questions.
skept. I'm
Do you
very
believe in? Do
skeptical.
you believe in evolution?
Yes,
Okay. Why?
because it makes sense.
Okay. Why does it make sense?
Well, there's evidence.
Oh, there's evidence. Okay, so you
Yeah,
believe things when they have evidence, like scientific
sure,
evidence, right?
of
So,
course.
oh, so like studies.
Well, evidence. It doesn't have to be a study. It's just
A
evidence. It's
study
evidence.
demonstrates evidence. You understand that? Like, what is a study? Do you know what a study is?
A study is whatever the people who are paying for the study want it to be. That's what a study is. They get the results that they want. It's not like
No,
Darwin
no,
going
no, no.
to the
They,
Galapagos.
in studies, they write a literal like methodology, and then you can reproduce the methodology of the study. That's the great thing about studies is that they give us the ability to reproduce the same results.
And many, many times I read they tried to reproduce it and it didn't work after
Well, then
years. It
tell me
was
what studies.
fraudulent.
Name one study that was applicable to.
Fraudulent.
Name one study that was applicable to. You're just making
Again,
that up.
I don't have access to that right at the moment in time, but I'm sure
Do you
you
have
can
any
Google.
information about it off the top of your head?
Yeah, that the studies that they went forward and they did these studies, and then they when they tried to reproduce it, they found out all that the evidence was all faked. Then there was a Harvard professor about 3 years ago was canned because he had copied. They went through the actual photographs and they showed that he had used
What's your source for
Photoshop
this
to
information? Where'd you read this information?
go Photoshop
Well, I
studies
have a
and the guy
question.
who photoshopped it.
Where did you read this information from?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. Where do you get your information from? Like, where'd you get your news?
I get it. I subscribe to the Wall Street Journal in the paper edition, and I listen to the radio, NPR, and I get on the internet.
Okay. What do you listen to on the radio?
I listen to NPR on the radio, and that's the only
You're telling me
news.
you listen to
WAMU.
NPR and that's the information. NPR is not writing this information. And also, by the way, you listened to NPR and you voted for a candidate that literally is defunding NPR.
Oh God, I'm so glad they're defunding NPR. It's turned into such a shit show. Can I say
What?
that?
Then why do you
Yeah.
listen to it? Why do you listen to it?
What's that?
So then
It's
why
just
do you
out of
listen
habit.
to it?
They have a couple of shows I like. The Politics Hour and a
So
couple
you, so
other
you
ones.
want
But
you want the show that you like to be defunded?
I'd rather have them get their information from private sources, get their funding from private sources.
Yeah, defund the show that he likes. Defund the show that he likes. You know what? That's so true.
It's one show out of it's even the head of NPR. The woman said that our job is not to report the truth. You can Google that.
That's not what. There's no way they said that. There's no way they said it's not to
Google that.
report
It's
the
a
truth.
woman. Maher is her name. Maher, Maher. Google what she said. Truth gets in the way.
How about you provide me a source for that?
Again, I don't have the ability to do that. I'm on my phone and I'm 67 years old.
Are
So I
what are
don't.
you what are you
Yeah,
talking to me on?
I'm on the phone. I got an iPhone.
So you don't have your phone?
I have an iPhone, but I can't switch to another app or do something else
Yeah, you
like
can.
that.
You can swipe up.
Okay, other people can do that. I'm not that great at it.
You can't swipe up on your phone and go and check Safari or go to Google real quick. You
I
know.
guess I can. What was the question? I mean, you know this stuff because you all you do is you live these, so you know what the woman said. So don't play games.
What are you
You know
talking
all these
about?
answers. You know the answers. You live this stuff. This is what you do all day. So I don't have to show you that you know what the woman said.
He said
You
he
know that
said he said you
NPR
do
is a
this for
leftist.
your job, therefore you're all knowing. You must know every fact of reality that has ever occurred.
All the major political facts you seem to know.
I don't know every major political fact. Obviously I can't. That's not possible. Now can you
Most
like
of them. You seem to be very well informed, and you do this all
so
day. So,
if you believe I'm so well informed, why don't you accept what I have to say?
well, because you're wrong, but you happen to be a well informed
How am I
wrong.
wrong? How am I wrong?
You're a leftist. You said it.
I never said that I was a leftist. I'm a social democrat. I'm a liberal.
Whatever. Social. What's the difference between a social democrat and a leftist?
There's a distinction, right? Like a leftist would be someone who's like anti-capitalist and typical.
And what is a social democrat?
Like a liberal, someone who believes in like a capitalist system, but with like social safety nets and regulations.
Well, that sounds like a conservative.
No, because we believe in a broader set of social safety nets, right, meant to take care of people's basic necessities. Like we want things like universal health care access, universal child care, whereas you advocate to take children off of free school lunch and breakfast. Right, 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every month under the big beautiful bill are cut off of their access to free school lunch and breakfast. 2.5 million people off of their access to food stamps, right, every single month. Right, literally over 10 million people off of their health insurance in the context of Medicaid, and still adding $3.4 trillion to the debt. That's what you guys vote for.
Look, we have the largest and most accommodating social safety net anywhere that you want to find. Okay,
That's just
people
not
are not
true. That's
starving
just
here.
not true at all.
Most of the people
That's
are
just not
blowing their
true.
food. Most of them blowing their food stamps on snack foods, Cheetos, and junk food. They're trying to cut that
That's not
out.
true. You have
They're
no
saying
source for
no.
this. Your sources trust
Yeah,
me, bro.
no. They're trying to limit. They want only food stamps to go to nutritious food, not junk food, and that's why the
That's
people are
certain
so
states. That's
angry.
certain states, not from the federal policy standpoint. They changed how many work requirements there are.
They got to get people got to work. You just can't sit on your butt and eat off other people. That's what the
That's
problem
not
with socialism.
specifically. You understand that under the context of the system we have, there was already work requirements on food stamps. They just made the work requirements harder to maintain or harder to get to.
I know people on food stamps, public housing, welfare their whole lives. They never worked and they never wanted to work.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I just want to let you know, every person who comes on the live claims this, that they know some certain person that doesn't deserve it. Right? You would specifically cut literally millions of people off it that do deserve it to literally ensure that that one person who doesn't deserve it is cut off.
No,
That's
it's
what you're
not
okay
that.
with. You're okay with cutting millions of people off it who deserve it, who need it, right? And it benefits their life and serves as a safety net to benefit them and to serve as something that, everyone in our community is going to be taken care of. But because one person you
No,
think
no,
doesn't
no,
deserve it is on it, you would rather
no,
cutting the
no, no.
millions of people off in order to ensure that they're cut
No,
off
no,
as
no, no,
well.
no. That's not my point. You see, what happens is when you give all this free stuff to people, you're not helping them. You're hurting them. That's why the marriage rate, children born out of wedlock, have shot up because you're giving all this money to unwed mothers to have children without getting married. That's why all you are causing the problems that you say you're going to fix. You're ruining people's initiative. There's no
A
incentive to
huge percent
work.
of abortions come from people who are already in relationships. I just want to let you know and already have had children.
Okay.
And also, like, the reason why people are getting divorced to the degree they are is because they're able to get into circumstances where they can actually leave men, where historically speaking, they were not literally able to, right? So women are leaving men at higher rates because they're allowed to right now, and they weren't allowed to historically speaking.
That is so inaccurate.
That is accurate. That
They're not
absolutely is
leaving
accurate.
men. They're not even being with men. They're just having babies with random guys because when they
That's
do,
what can you one provide
this
a
is what this
one
this,
provide a
this
source. Two, why are you trying to blame women for an issue specifically imposed by men within our society? Right, the patriarchy, the system
I'm
that
not
was
blaming.
created.
No, both. I'm blaming both. I'm not blaming women, but I'm just saying you're paying women to have
You said
babies
you're
out of
not blaming
wedlock,
women, but you're
and
blaming both. Didn't that indicate you said you
both,
were blaming
both,
women? So you are
both,
blaming
both.
women.
No, both men and women. Anybody whose goal in life is to have children out of wedlock and not pay for them, I'm blaming them.
Okay, so specifically Donald Trump, right? And specifically in the context of this situation, like literally Republicans who want to cut children off of free school lunch and breakfast. So Donald Trump has had kids out of wedlock, and then he wants to cut people off of free school lunch and breakfast through the context of the big beautiful bill.
Are they on school lunches? His kids?
No, I'm not saying his
He
children
can pay for
specifically.
them.
I'm saying other children, right? Because he's the president of the United States and he influences policy like the big beautiful bill to get passed, which then reduces people's access to free school lunch and breakfast, like
Well,
children.
let me ask you this: why aren't the parents paying for lunch and breakfast, or why aren't the parents making breakfast for their kids in the morning?
Because people are living paycheck to paycheck and can't afford basic bills because of Trump's tariffs.
I don't. You show me a single person who cannot afford to make breakfast for their kids, toast and eggs, and I'll
I'm
buy
sorry.
them
I'm sorry.
breakfast.
I'm sorry. Like I knew children specifically that relied on eating food at school when I was a kid. There are plenty of children and people in the comment section right now that have said that. Like, by the way, you have to understand that it is the case that the average American is living paycheck to paycheck in this country and can't afford a random $400 expense. Right? The
Guess
level of
what? The
income
people.
inequality in this country, right, doesn't get people to realize how bad it is, right, for people in general. And this is why I advocate for systems that benefit everybody. No one should not be able to have access to food. That shouldn't be considered a luxury or privilege. It should be considered a basic necessity given to everyone and that everyone has access to. If you can't afford it, then it will be provided. The federal government has a duty to provide food for hungry children.
See,
Okay?
but that's great, and I appreciate your sympathy, empathy for other people. But the programs that you have created, the Great Society programs, have done greater harm and caused more people to be in poverty and more children to
What's
suffer
your source?
because you're giving things away for free.
No, it reduces poverty. So can you give me a
You're
single
looking at the.
source that so give me a single source that giving people access to literally food stamps increases rates of poverty?
It does because people are not working. You're getting a whole culture, a
There are
whole
work
society
requirements in
of.
order to get food stamps. And
Okay,
also that's just not true. That's just not true.
people are not. You see, when I was coming up, people formed
Wait, how much
a
money do you think
family
people Wait, I have
unit,
a question. How much money do you think people get off food stamps?
thousands of dollars a month,
You think
depending on how many
you think people are getting
benefits.
thousands of dollars per month off of food stamps? Really?
Yeah, in fact, when you
Really?
when you
Oh,
when
wait,
you
so
add in.
I just want to inform you. That is the most ridiculous take I have fucking ever seen. No, people are not getting thousands of dollars per month from food stamps. The fact that you believe people are getting thousands of dollars per month off of food stamps shows me that no, you don't have a person in your life that specifically is on it that quote unquote shouldn't be on it. You don't even know how much people are getting. You have no
Look,
clue.
look.
How the hell did you believe that people were getting thousands of dollars per month just off of food stamps?
What's the
Where in
maximum?
this
What's the
country?
maximum? What's the maximum?
It's a few $100s per kid.
Okay, listen to this. This is what you're doing. You're giving people free housing. You're giving them free transportation. You're giving their kids free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're giving them food stamps. Of course, what is the total that you're giving? And you want to give them free health care now. What is the total that you're going to spend per person? How much are people making off of the rest of us per month? Thousands,
$6 per day. On average, older
thousands.
adults get $6 per day. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. You think thousand? You think $6 a day is thousands of dollars per month? Well, I'm sorry. Then
I
that's called MAGA math. That's called MAGA math.
let's
You
add it
don't.
up.
You can't. Yeah, yeah. Use a calculator
Let's
because
add it
you
up.
apparently can't do it yourself.
How much is breakfast and lunch for four kids every day?
Wait. I'm sorry. Yeah. So if it's I mean, it depends on where you are. Now, look at how much people get. So again, do the math. Six. What is 6 times 30?
What is six? Where are you getting
What
that
is
number?
6 times 30? That's the $6 from the AARP.
For AARP for
Yeah,
retired persons?
no, that's just who reported on specifically what the average per day of SNAP benefits is for older adults.
Well, we're talking about kids, not older adults.
Well, you want to cut children off of it?
That's what you
Thank
were
you.
talking about, weren't you?
We're talking about older adults because we're talking about people who are quote unquote not working. Wait,
Older adults.
and do you want to force children to work or something? Like what the hell?
I want their parents to work, yeah. And I want them to take responsibility. See, all these kids that you're growing up without fathers in the home, they're never going to amount to anything. And you can look that up.
That's so horrible for you to say that. That's so horrible for you to say that. And by the way, right, I just want to let you know there are specifically contexts of like heteronormative households where it is the case that there are literally the same outcomes in terms of child development, if not better. So if you want to look at the context of like development, right, I don't know why you're specifically saying anything to do with specifically fathers. Right now, if you're talking about two parents, well, if you want to create conditions for two-parent households to a greater extent, well, maybe you shouldn't support anti-LGBTQ plus legislation like what Donald Trump is imposing, because that's also important for establishing two-parent households. And also, how
I'm
about you
talking
also
about,
apply the standards for people to be able to take care of children in those circumstances? You're advocating to cut their food stamps. What are you talking about?
okay, I'm talking about a family, a nuclear family, mother,
Oh my God, what
father,
does nuclear family
heterosexual.
mean? What does nuclear family mean?
Heterosexual family,
Oh
mother,
my, wait,
father
so why
raise
does
the
that, why,
kids.
wait, why are you saying it has to be heterosexual?
Because that's how society has been since millions of
Wait,
years,
again, I
okay?
just referenced there are studies in my bibliography in my bio that indicate the same outcomes in terms of childhood development, specifically for households with gay parents comparative to straight parents, right? If not
Yeah,
better
well, who
conditions for
funded those?
if not better conditions for childhood development in reference to parents, specifically who are gay, right? In terms of their children's development. So if you actually want to talk about it, your context of a quote unquote nuclear family would actually lead to worse conditions, likely.
How can you have a kid if you're gay?
What'd you say?
How can you make a kid if you're
Oh,
gay?
so did you just realize, did you just know specifically that they can actually, like, through any concept of DNA that you have specifically now, they can actually cause fertilization? They don't require the same process now, right? There are people who, through the context of IVF, who are gay, who are able to have both of their partners have an offspring that is genetically identical, or not genetically identical, has aspects of their genetics from it. So
And you
they don't
think
have to
that's
use
good
sperm
for
and egg anymore.
society? You think that's good for
I
society?
think
Is
that's
that the society you
fantastic.
want?
I think that's
Okay.
fantastic. Yeah. What's wrong with being gay?
Nothing, but you can't have kids.
Wait, yes, you
Society
can.
depends
I just
on
showed you. Yes, you can. IVF.
heterosexual,
IVF. Hello, IVF.
and you're
So,
giving out how much
do you
does
know
that
what
cost?
sir? Do you know what IVF is?
In vitro fertilization?
Yes. And also, I have a question. Would it be wrong
How
for
much does that
well, I have
cost?
a question. I have a question.
You
A
didn't answer
guy
my question. How much
would
does
it
it
be, wait?
cost?
Hold up. Would it be wrong for a woman to marry a guy that is infertile? Would that be wrong?
Yeah.
It would be wrong.
If he can't have, they can't produce. You're saying he can't produce? Why would you want to marry somebody who can't produce?
You think it'd be immoral for her to marry them?
I mean, I'm not judging people's morals, but you
That's what you
can't.
just did.
But
You just did that.
you
You
can't.
just said it was
You
immoral.
cannot. You cannot have a society if you're
Yes,
marrying
you can.
infertile people.
Yes, you can. What are you talking? Our
How?
society right now, people marry others that are infertile. What are you talking about? Do you think
Well,
infertile? You understand? Do you think infertile people don't exist?
what's happening when the birth rate of every
Do you think that there's
industrialized
no one in
country?
the world that's infertile that gets into a relationship? Are you serious?
You can be in a relationship, you just can't reproduce the next generation.
Wait, again, that you don't need to in order to wait. So just because you don't reproduce doesn't mean anything about you. You don't become less valuable as a person because you don't reproduce.
That's your job. That's your job
No,
is
it's
to
well,
make the next
no, no. It
generation.
is not everyone's job to make children, right? It is up to your choice.